As a minimalist, I already don't buy a lot of things, but with the crazy cost of living over the past few years, we've definitely had to amplify that and tighten up our budget. Despite this, I want to share the things that are important enough to me that I still spend my money on, even if they might be little luxuries or just extra things. First up are my probiotics and multivitamins. I've mentioned before, ever since having Fins, I hopped on the probiotic train because my gut was feeling super off. I was super bloated, not happy, started taking seed, that resolved that. As well, multivitamins, you know, I'm still breastfeeding, so I'm taking my prenatal. And then I've been trying out some other things like beef liver. I need to get back on omega-3s, just stuff that I find important because obviously it's for my health, in extension for my baby's health, because again, breastfeeding. So yeah, those are gonna stay for a long time. Along with that, we're still buying plenty of meat and fish. I know this is like, you know, to each their own for how you want to eat. For us, we prioritize eating meat. We have had to cut back on how many times a week we have it, and that's just to keep our grocery bill at a number that I think is reasonable. But we're still eating fish, chicken, and beef all month long. So yeah, that's been really important for us to fit into the budget. Along with spending money on things that support my physical health, I think it's just as important to spend your money on things that support your mental health. It can be easy to forget that our mental needs are just as important as our physical needs, especially in this economy where most people are looking to cut corners. And that's why I'm excited to share today's sponsor, who is BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy more affordable and accessible. And this is an important mission because it can be really hard to find a therapist that works for you, especially in your area. I'm a strong advocate for therapy, especially seeing the flexibility of BetterHelp, reaching people in my life who otherwise wouldn't be able to fit it into their schedule. BetterHelp has streamlined the process of finding a therapist with their online quiz where you can put in your preferences and needs for your therapist, and you can change your therapist at any time. You can also message your therapist at any time and schedule your live sessions whenever it works for you. Again, super flexible. This system is made to adapt to your life, which is really important for me, and I'm sure for you as well, as us moms are always trying to juggle a million things. So regardless of whether you have a clinical health issue like depression or anxiety, or you're just a human going through the world having a hard time, therapy can give you the tools to approach life in a very different way. So if you're struggling, consider online therapy with BetterHelp. You can get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/embersandash, and I will have that linked in the description as well, so make sure to check that out. Thank you again to BetterHelp for sponsoring today's video. Moving on, I will, it feels like, forever be spending money on crafts for the kids. This is something for my sanity, especially in the winter time as we're closing in on fall. I know crafts will become more and more important again. Right now we're spending a lot of time outside, but it just helps break up the day. I guess I don't really need to explain why crafts are important, but craft supplies are a must-have. I've been going to the chiropractor for, I don't know, like 10 years, maybe, yeah, probably 10 years. So I will keep going to my chiropractor. I know some people don't believe in it. That's fine. I see the benefits, so I'm gonna keep going. And especially, okay, during the pandemic, that was the only person I was seeing for like 6 months besides my husband and my baby. And that like 10-minute adjustment was my social outlet. So they hold a very special place in my heart. I also get my eyelash extensions done. I know that's such a like extra thing, but I don't spend much money at all. I mentioned in a previous video, I don't go to the hairdresser or I don't get my nails done. I just believe you can have your one thing that's like a little beauty perk. So I like getting my lashes done. I also, again, really like my lash technician and partially go just to hang out with her, but obviously I still want the lashes. Clothing. Normally I don't spend a lot of money on clothes, but especially in the past year, I was pregnant. I'm not pregnant anymore. I'm still breastfeeding, but my boobs have gone down from the giant size that they are when you first get your milk in. So I kind of needed a new wardrobe, clothes that fit me well. I also have been really leaning into more feminine style, as you guys know. So trying to adopt that into my wardrobe, still keeping it minimal, just trying to get to my baseline kind of clothing standard. I'm all about spending money on experiences. Not that every experience needs to cost money, but especially with having young kids, we like to go out and do things with them, like going to the zoo, going to the aquarium, going berry picking, all these paid activities that we normally wouldn't do, but are extra fun when you have kids. So that's been really fun, especially in the summertime, getting out doing things. I'm also still buying fruit. I say that because I see a lot of moms online being like, who can afford fruit in this economy, which I get, but some fruit is cheaper than others, and I still think it's important to have fruit in your diet for a balanced diet, I guess. You know, we're not eating as many berries as we used to, but we got apples and oranges, and grapes are sometimes on sale, so I'm still prioritizing buying fruit. Another big one is hosting dinners. This is obviously an extra expense that, you know, we could just cut these out and save the money, but it's more important to us to host people in our home, create that community, be that family that people can expect to have an open home. So even if it's a bit more expensive, we really want to keep hosting people. A big one for me right now, as you guys know, is spending money on a hobby. I kind of think of it as like one hobby per season, because like in the springtime, I was spending money on gardening. Now, like there's not a lot of money going into it because it's kind of established for the season. Summertime was softball, which was affordable, but still cost money. Now going into the winter, I'm gonna start rock climbing or indoor bouldering. Very excited for that. And you know, those things cost money. It can be easy to think like that's an extra, I don't need to spend money on that, but, and this can be taken wrong, but what is life if we don't enjoy it? Obviously you have to be careful with that, but I'm trying to keep my sanity as a mother, as a stay-at-home mother, and having hobbies that get me out doing things, etc. are very important to me. A new one is I'm spending money on holiday decorations. I haven't really yet, but like I'm planning to. So I just realized this at Easter, this past Easter, that holidays actually matter now because I have kids, which previously I have had children this whole time, but these past 3 years, but they've been young enough that it didn't matter. And now I've like put it together that like, oh, my kids are gonna remember these holidays, and if I don't decorate, you know, you don't have to, but I want it to be a fun, memorable thing for them. I've always held on to the belief of like, who needs holiday decorations? Like, what an extra thing. I'm a minimalist, I'm not spending money on that. And I don't believe that anymore with children, because I want to decorate, so again, it's fun for them. I mean, I'll still probably keep it simple, but I want to do something. Another priority is date night. Date night doesn't always have to cost money, and we haven't gone on a date night in a hot second because life has been really busy, but I very much approve of spending a bit of money on going out and pouring into your marriage, I guess. And last up, one that's very important to me are paper towels. I don't want to be spending money on paper towels, but I kind of feel like I have to. I know you'll probably tell me that you don't, but here's the thing. Having a baby who's baby-led weaning is really messy, and I have the Swedish cloths, but to like wipe one section, go back to the sink, rinse it, wipe another section, and do that like 20 times, way too much, especially like 3 times a day doing that, 3 meals a day, you know. I have just told myself that in this season of life we use quite a bit of paper towel, and after eating sessions get cleaner, then I can, you know, cut back on the paper towel. I remember like rarely buying, what do you call those, packages of paper towel, and just using them on the odd occasion where you would need it, and now it's, you know, a lifeline for me. So that's important. So I hope you guys enjoyed all the things I'm still buying as a minimalist with a looming recession. Just the stuff that's important to me. Hopefully it's insightful for you. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.